Good afternoon, students. Today we will start our fourth chapter, that is field effect transistor. In previous lecture we have seen the transistor, construction of transistor, configuration of transistor, working of a transistor, then application of transistor as amplifier, multi-stage amplifier. Before that we have seen the diode construction, diode working, diode biasing, diode application. So diode, transistor, field effect transistor, all these devices are active devices. We have seen the definition for active devices, that is there are two types of components in electronics, passive components and electronic active components. The passive components are resistor, capacitor, inductor. The passive components are the components which are not able to produce any gain, or it will not do any amplification process. But the active components like diode, transistor and field effect transistors are able to produce gain, as well as it will able to do the amplification process. The amplification process is very necessary in electronics because it improves the strength of the signal. So with the help of these active devices we can build the communication circuit which is used to amplify the weak signal, or we can use these active components in so many applications. Like we have seen, we are used diode as a rectifier. It is used, that rectifier is used in DC power supply. Then diode is used as a switch. It is used in various electronic devices. Then transistor is also active devices. Its main application is amplifier, and it is used to amplify the weak signals. And then it is used as a multi-stage amplifier. So they are used in a communication circuit, radio circuits and other type of various electronic circuits. Then in this chapter we'll see what is a field effect transistor. It is also transistor, but the some construction is different from BJT, that is conventional transistor. In previous chapter we have seen the transistor whose name is bipolar junction transistor, that is a conventional transistor. But we have made some changes in our construction. So the transistor is called as a field effect transistor. So we'll see what is a field effect transistor. The field effect transistor is a three-terminal device used for variety of applications, and these applications are very much similar to those of BJT, that is bipolar junction transistor. Now what is the difference? The switching speed is much faster than BJT. If it is operating speed, or you can say that the switching speed is very much fast than BJT. Also, if it is a unipolar transistor, the conduction takes place is due to either majority carriers, like for current or voltage. So these are the unipolar devices, and BJT is bipolar device. The conduction takes place due to minority as well as majority charge carriers. So although there are many differences between these devices, there are many similarities between them. The application similarities, like amplifiers, it is used as amplifier, switching device or impedance matching circuit. So this is also three terminal device. Then three terminal of field effect transistors are named as a drain, source and gate, whereas BJT has emitter, collector and base. Likewise FET has drain, source and gate. So you can see some differences are shown your screen, the differences between field effect transistor and bipolar junction transistor. So FET is basically voltage control device, BJT is current control device. FET is higher input impedance, BJT lower impedance. Impedance means it is a ratio of voltage and current So FET has high input impedance and BJT has low input impedance. Then FET is less sensitive to temperature variations and BJT is higher sensitive temperature. We have seen the thermal effect in BJT, that how temperature increases the beta factor IC, IB, and because of that there will be a chances of breakdown of BJT. So that's why BJT is higher sensitive to temperature, but FET is less sensitive to temperature. Then FET is unipolar device, as I said. The conduction takes place due to only majority charge carriers, and BJT is a bipolar device. So the conduction takes place because of both majority as well as minority charge carriers. Then if it is smaller in size and it is easily able to fabricate, we can easily fabricate it on integrated circuit, or we can use it as a IC, because they are smaller and easily fabricated on ICs. Then BJT is large in size as compared to FET, so bigger ICs are required for BJT. So there are some differences. These are the some differences between FET and BJT. So FET is very good, which is used in a digital circuit, and BJT is basically used in a communication circuits. Then these are the types of FET: junction field effect transistor, then metal semiconductor field effect transistor, then metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor, and MOSFET is further divided into D type MOSFET, that is a depletion MOSFET, and second one is E MOSFET, that is enhancement MOSFET. So these are the type of FET. And types of BJT, all of you know, NPN transistor and PNP transistor. So BJT has only two types and FET has three types. Then third type is again further divided into two types, that is D and E MOSFET. Then it is invented by some scientist. That the scientist name is given on screen, and it is invented in 1955. Then we'll see the junction field effect transistor, the construction of junction field effect transistor. So the junction field effect transistor can be depending upon their structure. Depending on their structure, they are divided into two categories, and that is N channel JFET and P channel JFET. All of you know that now what is N and what is P. We have seen in construction of diode and transistor, that is N-type semiconductor and P-type semiconductors are used for manufacturing these active components, because these semiconductors conductivity we can control with the help of temperature. So conductivity we can control, that's why these semiconductors are used while manufacturing these active devices like N-type semiconductor and P-type semiconductor. So depending on N-type and P-type, there are types of transistor and field effect transistor as well. So the types of JFET transistor is N channel JFET and P channel JFET. Then it has a three terminals, as I said: drain, source and gate. The source is connected to N channel and gate is connected to P channel. So again it is a combination of N and P type semiconductor. N type semiconductor has a number of electrons as a majority charge carriers, and P type semiconductor has holes as a majority charge carriers. We have seen this structure of P type and N type in transistor also. Then these are the types, as I said, N channel and P channel JFET. So you can see that in N channel JFET there is large cross-sectional area is made up of N-type semiconductor, which is called as a N channel, and two slices of P-type semiconductor is mounted on it, and gate terminal is connected to P-type semiconductor, and drain and source terminal is connected to N channel. So this is called as a N channel JFET. So the construction is shown on your screen. Then for P channel, the most area, cross-sectional area, large cross-sectional area is made up of P-type semiconductor. So it looks like a channel, that's why it is called as a P channel. And the two slices of N-type semiconductors are mounted on a P channel. Then gate terminal is connected to N channel, and drain and source terminal is connected to P channel. So if there is a channel is made up of N type, then it is called as a N channel JFET. If channel is made up of P type semiconductor, then it is called as a N channel JFET. N channel is more widely used because it has a good voltage gain, you can say that, or it has a high switching speed than P channel. So these are the symbols of N channel and P channel JFET. You can see on a screen that arrow inside, the arrow which is shown at the gate terminal, which is going towards FET, or you can say that inside arrow is nothing is given for N channel, and outside arrow is for P channel. So you can see that there are three terminal: drain, gate and source. At the gate terminal the arrow is shown. If it is inside, then it is N channel. If it is outside, then it is P channel. So these are the symbols of JFET. Transistor symbols are also given to you. So in exam there is a possibility that the question will cast on the symbols of these active components, right? So see it carefully and try to draw, practice it properly. Then the N channel JFET construction, detail construction is shown. That is N channel, most of the area of the JFET is made up of N type semiconductor. So that is called as a N channel, and two P type semiconductors are mounted on it, and the gate terminal is connected to left hand side P type semiconductor. Then drain and source terminal is connected to N channel. Then if there is a P, you can see that there is a two depletion layer will form, that is left hand side P type semiconductor and N channel. The first depletion layer will developed near the gate terminal, and the left right hand side P type semiconductor and N type semiconductor will form another depletion layer. Now all of you know that what is a depletion layer. When we connect N type and P type semiconductor together, the electrons from N type semiconductor and holes from P type semiconductor will try to attract each other because they have opposite charges on it, and opposite charges attracts each other. So whenever we connect these two type semiconductors together, the charge carriers from these two semiconductor will try to attract each other, and they will recombine with each other. So some of the charge carriers from N type and P type semiconductor will not get paired for recombination, and such charge carriers will form some layer between P type and N type junction, which is called as a depletion layer. And this depletion layer will act as a barrier for conduction. So whenever we use these active components with P type and N type semiconductor, what is our aim? To reduce that depletion layer, and when this depletion layer will reduce from the device, then and then only current will flow through the device. So this is the natural process that will happen whenever we connect P type and N type semiconductor together. When we connect together, the depletion layer forms after that immediately. So that depletion layer means these are the immobile ions which will not which not getting pair for recombination. So This is explained in transistor also. So here the construction is shown. Then it is consist of n-type semiconductor bar with two p-type heavily doped regions. Means these p-type slices are heavily doped. Means there is a large amount of charge carrier inside it. That's why it is called as a heavily doped. So remember that p-type semiconductors are heavily doped and n-type is lightly doped as compared to p-type. These p-type heavily doped regions are diffused on opposite sides of its middle port. Then electrical contacts are made to two ends of the bar. These are the two terminals like drain and source as shown in figure. Then on the both sides of n-type bar, heavily doped p regions have been formed by the diffusion to create two p-n junctions. The two p-n junctions are shown. Both these p regions are connected together via ohmic contact and the gate terminal is brought out. The space between junction is called as a channel and it is n-type material, hence it is called as a n-channel JFET. So when the voltage is applied across a drain and source terminal, the current flows through the n channel, and current consists of only one type of carriers, that is electron. Therefore field effect transistor is called as a unipolar device, right? Then for p channel JFET is similar to n channel JFET, except it is consist of p channel and n type regions. In the p channel JFET, the current flows due to holes because majority charge carriers in p type semiconductor bar are holes. Then structure of n channel JFET. Structure of n-channel JFET consists of semiconductor bar of n-type material is taken, and ohmic contacts are made to two ends of bar. These two terminals are drain and source, as I explained for n-type. Then gate terminal is a controlling device of JFET. The positive voltage is applied between drain. The positive voltage is applied between drain and source, and negative voltage is applied between gate and source terminal. That is VGS is negative. So operation of n-channel JFET when gate to source voltage is equals to 0. Gate is connected to source, making VGS equals to 0. Due to supply voltage VDS, current starts flowing through the channel. The reverse bias across both the junction is low, therefore width of depletion layer is also less. So penetration of depletion layer in n-type bar depends on reverse bias voltage. So maximum charge carriers are available for conduction. The value of drain current corresponding to VGS equals to 0 volt is called as a source saturation current, and it is denoted by IDSS. IDSS corresponds to maximum drain current because channel is widest for VGS equals to 0, as shown in figure. So you can see that the drain and source voltage is given and gate is connected to 0 initially. So at the gate side there is 0 voltage, so width of depletion layer is high, and drain to source voltage is connected. So as we goes on increase in VDS, the depletion layer starts decreasing. So as I explained you, the IDSS current will flow. So in diagram you can see that the working first is shown, that is VGS equals to 0, means we haven't connected any voltage at the gate side, it is open, and we have only provided the voltage between drain and source, right? So gate is a controlling device. The positive voltage is applied between drain and source, and negative applied to gate and source terminal, right? Initially we are considering the operation of n channel with VGS equals to 0. So due to VDS, there is current start flowing through the channel, and reverse bias across both the junction is low. Therefore the width depletion layer will starts decreasing, and the penetration of depletion lesion in n-type bar depends on reverse bias voltage, right? So maximum charge carriers are available for conduction because depletion layer gets decreases with the help of increase in VDS. So the value of drain current corresponding to VGS is equals to 0 is called as a source saturation current, and the IDSS corresponds to maximum drain current because channel is widest, right? सो डिप्लीशन लेयर की विड्थ कम होने की वजह से वहाँ पे चैनल एरिया है, वहाँ से करंट फ्लो हो सकता है. सो इसीलिए इसमें हमको मैक्सिमम चार्ज कैरियर्स मिलते हैं करंट फ्लो होने के लिए. देन you can see the characteristics of this. When we increase the drain to source voltage, the drain current will starts increasing initially, and after some point it will increase and get a stabilized value, which is called as a VP, peak voltage, where ID current increases and stabilize at some level. So that's why it is called as a saturation level. When current reaches to its max value or peak value and settle there, then it is called as a saturation level. That's why the current is called as a saturation current, IDSS. Then these are the some regions which is shown on characteristics. It's called as ohmic region, that is linear region, means initial region. When we increase the voltage at the with the increase in VDS, there is increase in IDSS initially, which is called as a linear region. Then pinch off region means ID achieves maximum value and settle at the peak value, which is called as a saturation region, or you can say pinch off region. And breakdown region means the voltage at which IDSS achieves maximum value is called as a breakdown region. And finally it's cutoff region. Cutoff region means before starting at VGS is equals to 0, the JFET is in ops condition, which is called as a cutoff region. This is the ohmic region, pinch off region, and breakdown region is shown. These are very important regions of characteristics. Ohmic region, where the increase in current and voltage linear relationship is shown. Then pinch off means IDSS got maximum value and settled at the peak value, which is called as a pinch off region. And breakdown region means after breakdown there is a decrease in IDSS current. Then this is the next operation, that we have connected negative voltage at the gate and positive voltage at the drain and source. If we start increasing this voltage, the depletion layer starts increasing. So you can see that both the depletion layer touches each other and it will blocks the channel, right? So this is called as a pinch off. So if we increase VDS, there is no use because channel get blocked there, which is called as a pinch off characteristics. Then VGS greater than 0 means we have connected some negative supply at the gate terminal. So due to reverse voltage applied across gate source junction, across gate, junction penetrates of depletion region inside channel increases. So because of increase in depletion layer, this will reduce the channel width due to reduced with less number of electrons. can pass through the channel. Therefore, drain current ID reduces with increase in negative VGS. If we apply negative VGS, then channel width reduces and it will starts blocking your channel, right? Then if we provide a large negative voltage to the gate, it will completely block your channel, we have seen previously. So this voltage is called as a cutoff voltage VGS, where JFET stops working because channel is completely blocked and it will not able to produce any voltage and current. So if we want to conduction, we have to keep VGS equals to 0 or VGS equals to some negative voltage. If we increase the voltage near gate and source, it will block channel, and channel will goes into cutoff, right? So this is the JFET characteristics. You can see that initially if we increase drain to source voltage, then ID is also increases with VDS, which is called as a ohmic region, where ID and VDS increases linearly. Then saturation region, where the ID achieves maximum peak value and settle there, which is called as a saturation region, or we can say the pinch off. We have seen the characteristics are plotted graphically with the voltage on one axis, that is x-axis, and current on y-axis. The drain characteristics is plot of drain current versus drain source voltage VDS at the different values of gate to source voltage VGS. Then characteristics is divided into three regions, as I explained you: cutoff, ohmic, and saturation. Cutoff means with increase in negative gate voltage VGS, channel width is available for conduction decreases. At certain voltage VGS, the depletion region touches each other, that closes the channel completely. So the cutoff region correspond to ID is equals to 0 and VGS greater than VGS off. Saturation region is the portion that characteristics where ID remains fairly constant and do not change with VDS. Saturation region is entirely different than saturation region in transistor. In order to use JFET as an amplifier, it is operated in saturation region. And what is ohmic region? This is the region drain current ID varies with the variations in drain to source voltage VDS as shown in figure. The JFET is therefore said to be operating as voltage variable resistance in ohmic region. Resistance offered by JFET is decreases with the decrease in value of negative gate voltage. FET resistance in ohmic region is given by RDS is equals to Vp upon IDSS. Then FET breakdown: when JFET is operating in saturation region, ID does not change with VDS up to certain value. If VDS is increased further beyond this value, gate channel breaks down due to avalanche effect and drain current increases rapidly. This can be damage the device. So these are the some regions which are present on the characteristics of JFET. Then we have seen the effect of negative VGS. If we increase the negative gate to source voltage, then channel width decreases and drain current ID reduces proportionally. Pinch off voltage means the value of drain to source voltage at which drain current reaches its constant saturation value, and any further increase in VDS does not have any effect on value of ID. Value of VP reduces periodically with increase in negative voltage. So this is the operating characteristics of JFET. This formula just now I have explained you. These are the some example. So here is the N channel working of N channel JFET. In next lecture we'll see the working of P channel JFET.